Today we are in section 3.6, solving multi-step inequalities. All right, like I just said, solving a multi-step inequality is pretty much the same thing as solving a multi-step equation, so a lot of this is going to be familiar to you. All right, so in example 1, let's read the soccer example on the top of page 149. It says, your school soccer team is trying to break the school record for goals scored in one season. Your team has already scored 88 goals this season. The record is 138 goals. With 10 games remaining on the schedule, how many goals on average does your team need to score to break the record? All right, so again, our total goes on one side, which would be our record. What is our total?
88.
138.
Oh.
Okay, that's the record. So, are we trying to not beat the record? No, we have to beat the record, meaning that it has to be higher or greater than. Can it be equal to? No, because that I wouldn't break the record, I would tie it. So it's got to be greater than 138. How many goals have I already scored?
88.
88. And now I have 10 games left, but I don't know how many goals I need to score per game in order to break that record. All right, and so now I've set up my two-step inequality. Just like with equations, I need to start with what is not connected to my variable. Okay, what's not connected to my variable, and then move that first, and then deal with what's connected. So how do I get rid of positive 88? I subtract it. I do the opposite. Subtract 88 from both sides. This works out nicely. 10g is greater than 50. Now, what do I do? Divide both sides by 10. And don't forget to label g is greater than 5 goals, meaning that you have to score more than 5 goals per game if you want to beat the record. If you score 5, then you'll tie it. All right, so now you try with some different numbers. Okay, so now suppose the season goal record is 124 goals. Your team's already scored 52 with 12 games remaining on the schedule. How many goals does your team need to break the record? All right, so Mason, what's my inequality? No, what's my inequality?
Oh, like
the whole thing. Yep.
52 plus 12g is greater than 20 or 124.
All right, good job. Okay, then I subtract 52. Subtract 52.
12g is greater than 72, and you divide both of them by 12, and get g is greater than 6 goals.
Couldn't have said it better myself. G is greater than 6 goals. All right, raise your hand if you got it. All right, good job, guys. All right, so now in example 2, all right, who wants to deal with all word problems, right? I just want to solve a problem. So that's what we're doing here. We're solving two-step, or maybe even more than that, multi-step inequalities. So again, I need to deal with what is not connected to my variable first. So what do I do first on this side of the inequality?
6.
Quiet. I need to add 6. Very good. Add 6 to both sides. But now I have different signs. So what's negative 5 plus 6?
1.
It is going to be 1. Wait, positive or negative 1?
Positive 1.
It's positive because 6 is bigger. All right? Now, how do I solve for x? Wesley?
Multiply negative 4 by both sides.
Okay, multiply both sides by negative 4. Uh-oh. What happens? What happens? I need to... I have to switch my inequality because I multiplied by a negative. All right, this should be a 1, not a 6. Okay, so now 1 times negative 4, I'm going to have x is now less than or equal to negative 4. I had to reverse my inequality because I multiplied by a negative. So first step, I need to add 12.
To both sides.
So b over 12 is less than 156. Add 12. Multiply both sides by 12. Woo! I'm going to get a big number. What's my answer? B is less than
1,872.
All right. Then I put that on a number line. All right, 1872.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
1870.
Oh, we had a number line. 14.
Oh, yeah, you always have to number line it. 1874. Open dot. Which way is my arrow going?
Left.
All right, my next one, subtract 17. Uh-oh, did you catch it? F over negative 5 is greater than 55. Multiply by negative 5. And F is less than negative 275. Who got that right? All right, awesome. So you flipped it. You remembered? All right, so now put that on a number line. Negative 275, negative 274, negative 273. No, that's wrong. Negative 276.
What?
Negative 277.
Oh, I thought you were the
Negative 274 and negative 273.
I was like,
All right, open dot, and it's going left. Okay, so questions on this. Questions, guys.
no, ma'am.
All right, pretty straightforward. Now, what if you had variables on both sides of your inequality? Do you remember what I told you about how do I know which one to move? It's the lowest value, the one that's the least. Okay, so which one's smaller, negative 3x or 2x?
Negative 3x.
Negative 3x, so I move that one. How do I get rid of negative 3?
Add 3.
I add 3. Okay, and now I have negative 3 is less than, what's 2 plus 3? 5x minus 83. Now I add 83. Add 83.
Why do we add 83?
Because you got to cancel it out. You have to get the variables on one side. 80 is less than 5x. Divide both sides by 5. Now, here's the important part. It's going to be 16. All right. How do I read my solution? How do I read it? Colin?
X is greater than 16.
X is greater than 16. You always start with the variable. If you read it 16 is less than X, there's a good chance that you're going to do your number line wrong. Okay? X is greater than 16. So on my number line, when I say greater than, I already know that my arrow is going to go which way?
To the
No,
right.
greater than. That's why it's so important that you read your variable first. Because if you say 16 is less than X, you might think that it's supposed to go greater than. It's supposed to go right. All right, I want you to try B on your own. All right, so see if your answers match up. Subtract 3m, that's the smaller one. 22 is greater than or equal to 2m. Divide. M is less than or equal to 11, so that's why my arrow is going left. Who got it right?
Where's the negative? I can't find
A couple more things. Now we're going to get a little bit tougher, all right? We're going to do a couple problems from your book, all right? Whoops. Oh, no. All right, we're going to do a couple problems from your book. Number 25. All right, so I want you to go ahead and solve. This is distributive property. We have not reviewed it yet. We'll review it in a minute, but I want to give you a chance at trying to solve this first using the distributive property. All right, now here's the important part here, okay? You need to do distributive property first. So 4 times 5 is 20, and then 4 times negative 3 is negative 12b. Okay, negative 3b is negative 12b. Now, I look for what is my smallest variable. What's my smallest one? Negative 12b, so I do the opposite and add it, rewrite my equation, and now I move my number to the other side. And I get 16 is greater than 16b. So b is less than 1. Now you could have read it b is greater, or 1 is greater than b, or b is less than 1. Either way, same thing. That's the answer. All right, who got it? Anybody get b is less than 1? Okay, only about half of you.
This one's so easy.
Do you see where you went wrong if you did something wrong? All right, now it's going to get a little bit harder. Let's look at number 29. You have one of these on your homework tonight. Okay? Now, pay attention to what I'm about to say. You want to, anytime you have a problem like this, you want to get rid of your fraction first. So how can you get rid of 4 in your denominator? Whoa, hold on. You multiply both sides by, Wyatt? By 4. Multiply both sides by 4 to get rid of the number in your denominator. Now I want you to solve the rest of it. Okay, so now I've rewritten my inequality. Now I add 8 to both sides. What do I have to divide by to get s by itself? -5. So what happens to my inequality? Switches. S is less than or equal to 16. Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
All right, so that's about as hard as it comes. Those are pretty tough problems. If you understand that, guys, this is on your quiz tomorrow. Multi-step inequalities, okay?